friends, welcome back to my channel, Patronosaurus Reads. I'm Katie, aka Patronosaurus, and I read. Today I'm going to be giving you my tentative fall TBR. Like I said in many videos, I don't do monthly TBRs because I know I won't stick to them because I'm such a mood reader, but my mood is kind of dictated by the seasons, which I think is true for a lot of people. So in summer I like to read contemporary. Winter I lean more towards fantasy, although I do read fantasy kind of whenever. Doesn't really matter to me. And in the fall, I like to read more gritty contemporaries, hard-hitting contemporaries, I guess. Although not ones that will tug at your heartstrings, the ones that are kind of dark and twisted. And also some fantasy, like I said, as well as mysteries. So I pulled out some of my books that I'm excited about. These are the books that I know I really want to read, and you've probably seen them on my channel because normally I read books pretty soon after I buy them, and if I don't, then they sit on my shelf for like 2 years at least. So it's either read it right away or never read it and waste your money. And I don't want to waste my money. So you may have seen these in hauls or subscription boxes when I was still getting Crate. So I think I've talked about most of these. Let's just go. These are also in no particular order, by the way. So the first book that I'm really excited to read is In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. I feel like I've been reading Ruth Ware's books in a very strange order. I think this was her first book, maybe? This might have been her debut. And Reese Witherspoon says, prepare to be scared, really scared. And I trust Reese Witherspoon. She seems cool. And I have read, I think, 2 of Ruth Ware's books, and I'm in the middle of her most recent one right now. I got a skip the line copy from the library, so reading out my phone. And I do like a good creepy mystery. I don't really know what this is about at all. I think this is the one about friends who go to this cabin that they used to hang out in or something when they were teenagers, which sounds very similar to the other one that I just read that I didn't like that much. I think her books are definitely getting better as you go on, but they do all have a very atmospheric fall creepy type of quality about them, and I really like that. So I am really excited to read this, and I've been enjoying quite a few mysteries recently. The next book I'm excited to get into is The Female of the Species by Minnie McGinnis. I hauled this in whatever book haul it was. I think the only one I've done. I'll link it below. I like female revenge stories, and that's what this is. This is the book that got me interested in female revenge stories, although I haven't read it yet, and I have read some other ones. But I know this is the first one that I was really aware of about a teenage girl taking justice into her own hands and fighting back against the patriarchy and to the patriarchal system that truly is the scariest thing that can happen. So I think it's perfect for the Halloween time of year. I'm so excited to read this. I also can't decide if I love or hate the cover. It's so striking, but I can't decide if it's in a good or bad way. So there's that. The next book I'm really excited to read is this Mary Shelley biography, The Strange True Tale of Frankenstein's Creator, Mary Shelley, by Catherine Reef. There are about 1 million Mary Shelley biographies out there, but I got this one because it is a little bit shorter, and it has this really cool striking cover, and there's this lovely picture of Mary Shelley on the back. I love Frankenstein. It's my favorite classic, and that's from someone who doesn't really like classics at all, but I think Frankenstein is such a fantastic story and so well written, and Mary Shelley was a badass, but I don't really know that much about her. What I do know about her I think is really cool, but I want to learn a little bit more, and this is, I think, the only nonfiction book that I even own. I'm so excited to read it and learn more about this super, super cool woman. Okay, the next book I'm excited to read, y'all are gonna roast me for not reading yet, especially given some news about the TV series that we were given recently. but it's Six of Crows. I know I haven't read it yet. I know I think I've put it in like 3 or 4 videos where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna read this book. I can feel it, it's time. But like, I know it has to be a specific time. And the thing is, I felt it, that time come, but I was still slumpy. And also this book was in my grandparents' garage 4 hours away from me. And so by the time that they came and brought all my books back, I wasn't feeling it anymore. And I know like my heart and my soul have to be in the right position. Like I have to, this book deserves nothing but the best from me. And I'm gonna give it my best. So for right now, it's not my super immediate TBR, but I know like the second I feel that urge to read this book, I'm gonna just grab it and start, because I can't put off this book anymore. I wanna read it so bad. I'm so ready. The next book that I'm excited to read this fall is probably the most Halloween-esque of them all, except for maybe the Mary Shelley biography, which is Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, especially because the 4th book in the series is coming out fairly soon. I don't remember exactly when, but I think that's also the final book. So this series is coming to an end, and this was a book that I kind of temporarily DNF'd when I was feeling slumpy over a year ago, and I still haven't picked it back up, even though I love this series. The first book was so good. The audiobooks are great. I love it so much. But this might be the only one that will actually kind of scare me, so I'm a little nervous, because I am a bit of a scaredy cat, and I do like to sleep and not be terrified, so we'll see how this goes. The last book that I am really excited to read is the only other fantasy on this list, which is Sorcery of Thorns by Margaret Rogerson. I absolutely loved An Enchantment of Ravens. I know it was very polarizing. You either loved it or you hated it. I loved it. But my complaint was that it was too short. This is like 3 times the length of that book. And it's so pretty, and I've heard fantastic reviews from people who've read it so far, and it's about a magical library. And I think this might be a late fall read, because I feel like that would be a really good transition into the cozier winter months. So I think that'll be really fun to kind of curl up and have some hot chocolate and read this book and like watch the snow outside. That would be so fun. So those are the books that I'm excited to be reading this fall. Those will not be the only books I read this fall, hopefully. I feel like I'm kind of coming out of my slump, especially because I have so many books that I'm so pumped for. And I just think it's going to be a really good reading season, and also a good life season. Okay, I'm gonna go now. So if you've read any of these books, let me know what you think of them down below. Feel free to follow any of my social media. That will all be linked in the description. Leave a comment, like, and subscribe. That's what YouTubers say. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!